Hi, I'm Charlie Thorburn. Welcome to Mordor Gundogs. We're going to be training a 6-month-old Black Labrador girl. She's called Suti, and we bred her whole family, many generations, and she is going to end up with a retired gentleman in the borders, Scottish borders, as a family pet type of a dog, but he's also going to do sort of working tests and, you know, very much she's going to be trained to be a gun dog, but not actually be a gun dog. So the man doesn't shoot or hunt or anything like that. He just wants the dog to be well behaved. So what do you do with a 6-month-old dog? Well, they're like a 6-year-old child. They're at school, they're learning lessons, but we're not expecting anything too magical. Suti's doing really well. She featured in one of our videos before when she was about 4 months old. So where is she at? She's walking to heel on the lead, so loose lead, walking along next to us. She's got that little, like, puppy little skip, really exciting, really happy to be with me. Now, one of the things I say to people regularly is when you're training a dog how to do something, it's all about encouraging them. It's all about being positive. We're trying to encourage her to be here. We want her to follow us around. Okay, yes, we'll give her a little gentle tug on the lead, but there's really very, very little in the way of correction. We're trying to never have to correct a dog, but the reality is that you do sometimes have to correct them, okay? So we're trying to encourage her to walk next to us by using our body language. She's here, she's nibbling on my fingers. She's just wanting to be glued to my legs, so I'm just trying to encourage that. Occasionally she'll get distracted, we'll give her a little gentle tug on the lead, and then as soon as she's back with us, we'll encourage her again. So 95% of it is about encouraging her, about being positive, and really, if not 98%. We've got some dogs of our own breeding that we've brought up that because of the way we bring our dogs up, they've never ever had to be told off in their life. Literally never. I mean, a growl because they've sniffed a bit of horse poo, that like, don't do that. That's about it, okay? And if you bring them up, the right dog up in the right way, there really isn't any need to be strict with them. But, if you are doing corrective training, or if you've got a dog that's a bit of a handful, or a bit of an idiot, a bit of a clown, they're leaping around, there is times and places that you do have to correct them, okay? And that is just the reality of life, whether it's a dog, a horse, or a person. That's just what it is. Some people never need told off. Some people never speed in their cars. But any of you who watch my Instagram know that I'm not one of those people. But so what we're hoping from little Suti is we never have to tell her off. It's all just about encouragement. But we've got to be realistic. So at this stage, she doesn't know the rules well enough to be justified to be told off. So if she does do something wrong, it's just a quick, don't do that, and encouraging her to do it correctly. She's engaged with me, she's sitting, she's looking at me. That's what all these things we're trying to encourage. We want her to be like, oh, Dad, what are we doing next? You can see she's very, even though I'm not the one training her, she's very devoted to me. Good girl. Suti. Heel. Heel. Sit. So all my commands are all very gentle, they're all very quiet, and this is very much the uniform across training all of our dogs. It's all very soft, it's all very quiet, it's all very gentle, so that when they're about to get run over by a bus, I can go, no, stop! Okay, and they go, oh my God, and it means something to them. Whereas if I'm always loud, okay, if I'm always like, come here, sit, do this, do that, then that's how they are, that's how they become as well. There's a sort of a saying, and I can't remember who said it, but you become the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most, okay? Dogs become the average of the 5 people they hang out with the most. So if dogs hang out with owners who don't know what they're doing and they're too loud or they're too shouty or they're too aggressive or they're too soft, the dogs become that. So if you're an idiot, your dog will become an idiot. If you're calm and collected, your dog will be calm and collected to a greater or lesser extent, okay? Sit. Now, how much training do we do with a young dog of this age? Not a lot, okay? Because she's young. Her bones aren't developed, her joints aren't developed, her muscles aren't developed. We don't head off into the hills for an hour-long training session. We just do little bits in and around the yard, in and around the farm, the house, the kennels, etc. We're just here and hereabouts. We might go down to one of the fields down there, but it's never more than 5 minutes away. So So we're only out with her for 15 minutes. Now, one of Suti's little things one of her little quirks is when she's on the tarmac or the gravel, she's great. But when she gets onto the grass, she gets a little bit of, ooh, silly, silly, silly. Okay, so what do we do to counter that? Yes, she does have to learn to walk and behave and everything else on the grass, but she's still learning. So let's teach her where she can do it right. Get it really ingrained in her head. Get her to sit on the tarmac. Get her to walk to heel on the tarmac. Get her to retrieve on the gravel. Do it all in the places that she's going to get it right. So we establish this consistency of her getting it right, getting it right, getting it right. So that at a point where we think it's so ingrained in her mind that she's ready for it, we can then do it on the grass and she'll just do it because we've done it enough. What everyone does wrong, where everyone gets this wrong, is they're too much in a rush. They're like, oh yes, she can do it here, so I'm going to go over there. But can she do it here well enough? The answer is probably no. Will she do it as well as one of Charlie's dogs? The answer is probably no, because you haven't practiced it enough. And you end up trying to do a bit here and a bit there and a bit over there and a bit out in the park and a bit in a coffee shop and a bit in a pub, and none of it really works, and you never really improve. Keep it simple. Do it in the simple, easy places and build up from there. Now, how do we reward the dogs? We reward them with praise and attention and just general engagement with them. But what she loves doing is a little retrieve. Now, she can be a bit silly with her retrieving sometimes, so I'm going to leave the lead on. I'm going to just roll the ball. Good girl. Suti, good girl. Well done. Well done. And she comes back with it. Big hugs, lots of praise and encouragement. I take it out of her mouth. Now, the reason I left her lead on is because she can be a little bit prone to kind of not coming directly back to me. Whereas by just trailing the lead along, it just takes the edge off her. It kind of calms her down a little bit because she's like, oh, I'm on the lead. So she's not in that, oh, I'm off the lead. She's just a bit calmer, and that, again, just helps me get it right. And if I consistently retrieve with her and she gets it right when she's on the lead, and we do it over and over and over again, then one day when the lead comes off, she hasn't even noticed, and she just carries on getting it right. In the same way as if she's getting it consistently right on the tarmac and on the gravel and the places that she's calm, one day we just throw a retrieve on the grass, and she doesn't even notice she's on the grass. So a lot of dog training is really a big con, okay? It's not that I'm a con man, okay? It's that I'm conning the dogs into believing that they have to do these things. And you've got to think of it like that. You've got to think of it as like, how can I manipulate the situation and work my way around a problem rather than just going, oh, but I just want to go on the grass. But you can't right now. You've got to figure it out. You've got to figure out how to get the dog to be good enough off the grass before you head onto the grass. Remember, like and subscribe. I hope you're all enjoying our training videos. Feel free to comment, ask any questions, and we'll see you all again in the next video.